This week on Healthy Living, assistive technology plays a critical role in everyday life for millions around the world, but many lack access. Pascal Bijleveld, CEO of ATscale, discusses the first World Day for Assistive Technology and efforts to increase accessibility. And we'll have essential eyewear care tips to keep your glasses in top shape. Finally, health advocates push for reforms to combat Indonesia's high male smoking rates. That's in this edition of Healthy Living. Hello, I'm Linoch Mudu. Thanks for joining us for another edition of Healthy Living. From a simple pair of eyeglasses to a blood pressure monitor and a high-tech wheelchair, assistive technology is a part of many people's lives. There are devices that help people function every day with more autonomy. They include those with chronic health disorders or physical impairments and the elderly. It is estimated that 2.5 billion people today need at least one form of assistive technology, and most people will require assistive technology at some point in their lifetime. In Africa, 10 to 20% of the population faces disability challenges despite advancements in technology. Limited infrastructure and high costs for assistive technology create barriers to access, leading to exclusion. Enable, a non-profit group in Kenya and the USA, aims to make a change by helping African youth with disabilities through technology.
Edwin Omulama is one of millions of people living with disabilities in Africa. He's here today to learn how technology can assist him in moving without the aid of someone or his walking stick. A device attached to his feet can prevent collisions, safeguarding him from injuries.
Many people are able to know us from the use of the walking stick, but with the cameras, people will not understand us, and they will think that we are normal and we will be operating as normal people. And I believe it will help us to be more independent when it comes to walking, identifying of objects.
At the Inclusive Africa Conference, at least 20 innovators displayed technologies designed to improve the independence of persons with disabilities. According to the United Nations, more than 80 million people in Africa are disabled. By 2050, 3.5 billion worldwide will need assistive technology. The devices displayed here are designed to address disabilities, from aiding communication for people with verbal and vision impairments to facilitating easier movement. Faustina Urasa from Tanzania says being assisted into a vehicle can be very upsetting.
There are times when someone touches you in a way that makes you uncomfortable. But with this mode of transport, it helps preserve our dignity. I'm relieved that I won't have to be carried and touched anymore. Now I can enter the vehicle with respect and sit comfortably. It brings me immense joy.
Access to assistive technology is poor in Africa and is blamed on poverty, the environment, lack of knowledge, and lack of support services and service providers. Organizers and participants at the conference held in Nairobi this week discussed the challenges they face as disabled individuals and the costs and opportunities in assistive technology.
We also want to unlock the Africa AT ecosystem and assist African countries and innovators in developing policies and funding structures that can help innovation thrive in Africa. We also want to empower youth with disabilities with the right information, tools, and opportunities to become digital accessibility champions across the continent.
As the conference ends, those living with disabilities and their advocates hope their voices will be heard and be supported by getting tools to better their lives. Mohammed Yusuf, VOA News, Nairobi.
Experts say only 10% of people in low-income countries can access the assistive technology they need, compared with 90% in high-income countries. June 4th marked the first World Day for Assistive Technology to raise awareness of the importance of assistive technology and better access. Here is more with Pascal Bijleveld, CEO of ATscale, the global partnership for assistive technology.
I think that the significance of this is that it is the first time, and it is a big step for this global movement that is trying to raise more awareness and understanding for the need for assistive technology. In case you're wondering, assistive technology is eyeglasses, hearing aids, wheelchairs, prosthetics, digital devices, anything that one needs to be functional and fully included in society. And it's been a neglected issue. So the idea of the World AT Day is to take a moment every year, this is the first, but there'll be many more, to really highlight this issue, mobilize political voices, mobilize civil society, mobilize individuals around this issue, and spread the word about the need for assistive technology and the huge inequity that still exists today in access. Assistive technology is about everyone. But if you think about the silver tsunami, the growing population of older people, they will all need assistive technology as they grow older, a hearing aid, a wheelchair, or reading glasses, and so on and so forth. But we're also talking about just kids that may just need simple eyeglasses or a hearing aid to be able to participate in class. Right now, many of these products in the countries we work with are out of reach for individuals. And unfortunately, very few governments are actually procuring assistive technology or including assistive technology in the basic health insurance package or the social protection package. And then you've got some more fundamental factors like a lack of human resources, a workforce. In some countries in Africa, there's maybe 1 or 2 audiologists for the entire country, right? And fitting a hearing aid does require some level of expertise to make sure it's the right one and it's fitted appropriately and it's adjusted and so on and so forth. Same goes with eyeglasses, same goes with wheelchairs. And so developing that workforce is also an important piece of increasing accessibility. As an individual, the most important thing that one can do is to talk about, to spread the word, to get the message out around this issue, and to, where possible, get organized and demand better services and better access.
Prescription eyeglasses are a significant investment in your vision and overall well-being. Proper care ensures they remain effective and last longer. Here are some steps experts recommend to care for your eyeglasses. Always use both hands when putting on or taking off your glasses. This prevents them from bending out of shape. Clean your glasses daily using a microfiber cloth and lens cleaner specifically designed for eyeglasses. Do not use household cleaners, window cleaners, or other harsh chemicals on your lenses as they can damage the coatings and the lenses themselves. Avoid wiping your lenses when they are dry, as this can cause scratches. Always rinse them first. When not wearing your glasses, store them in a hard case to protect them from damage. Avoid wearing your glasses on top of your head, which can distort the frames and misalign the lenses. Uganda launched a mass vaccination campaign in April against the mosquito-borne disease yellow fever. The country hoped to reach millions of people, but vaccine hesitancy has left hundreds of unused doses in hospitals across the country.
Students turn up at this university in the outskirts of the Ugandan capital, Kampala, to get vaccinated against yellow fever. It's part of the government's mass vaccination program. The World Health Organization says yellow fever is a mosquito-borne illness with no specific treatment. However, the vaccine can provide a lifetime protection against the disease.
Uganda, like you know, is one of the 27 countries that are regarded still as high-risk countries in the world so far, meaning that there's high risk or you could get yellow fever around in the country. So when you travel in or you travel out, that's why we are required to have proof of vaccination.
Uganda's government kicked off a vaccination campaign against yellow fever in June of 2023. The campaign's second phase ran this year in April and was extended because of low turnout. To date, only 12 million people have been immunized out of the targeted 27 million. Observers believe vaccine hesitancy is to blame.
It was low in the first week because people were doubting about the vaccine and they thought, why is the government introducing the campaign of yellow fever? And they had the queries like the government wants to give them expired vaccines.
Experts say yellow fever poses a significant threat to global health security, particularly in Central Africa and South America. Symptoms include fever, headache, jaundice, and bleeding from the nose and eyes. The yellow fever jab is mandatory for people going into and out of Uganda. Local councillor Moshe Sendi is opposed to having a vaccination program.
We're supposed to be building immunity, not getting chemicals into their bodies. So when it gets to children, that's why I personally called by the school where my son goes. I told them I don't want to hear anything to do with what? Mass vaccination.
The WHO estimates that there are between 84,000 and 170,000 severe cases of yellow fever in Africa each year, and up to half of those cases result in death.
May 31st was World No Tobacco Day, a day when many health advocacy groups raised awareness about the dangers of tobacco. These groups had reason to celebrate. In most countries, tobacco use is declining, but not in Indonesia, where the World Health Organization says smoking rates are rising. Dave Grunebaum has the story.
Otib is working with his speech therapist. He goes by one name like many Indonesians. He had smoked for almost 4 decades before doctors removed his larynx because of cancer.
Back in my day, smoking was considered a tradition and a casual thing to do by kids at that time. People say if you're not smoking, you're not manly enough.
A World Health Organization report estimated that in 2022, 70% of Indonesian men smoked tobacco, among the highest rates in the world, compared with only about 2% of Indonesian women.
I think it's being portrayed and being part of our culture that smoking is part of masculinity, and it's also being portrayed by the tobacco industry that it's cool for guys to smoke.
Olivia Herlinda is with the Center for Indonesia Strategic Development Initiatives, a non-governmental organization focusing on health issues.
Because of the high rates of smokers in Indonesia, we also have high rates of lung cancers and other heart and lung-related diseases such as stroke, ischemic heart diseases.
The tobacco industry widely promotes itself in Indonesia with advertising on television, sponsorship of popular events including sports as well as music festivals, and billboards. Public health advocates say these types of promotions by the tobacco industry face tighter restrictions in most countries. VOA sent questions to Indonesia's Ministry of Industry as well as to the Association of Indonesian Cigarette Manufacturers, but did not receive answers. A report from the Indonesian Ministry of Health said the health costs from smoking are 3 times higher than the amount generated from tobacco taxes. He hopes sharing his experience will prevent some people from trying cigarettes and persuade current smokers to kick the habit. Dave Grunebaum, VOA News, Tangerang, Indonesia.
That's our show for today. For more health news, wellness tips, and medical breakthroughs, stay connected to Voice of America at voaafrica.com. You can follow me on X at Linoch Mudu. Until next time, stay well and strive to make every day a healthy day.